important characteristic that rivers were having existence first, and then the Himalaya land is formed, Himalaya mountain range that is formed over there, and therefore we are getting a different structure of these rivers. The path of the river is changing. Try to recollect in history, we discuss about that in case of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. One of the cause of destruction of the civilization, that was the change of river bed of the river Indus. So this is the problem. Now we are focusing on rivers originating in Himalaya. They are having, number one, existence earlier than landform. Then second thing, that these rivers are having throughout the year rainfall or water supply. Say, when we are increasing out pressure in ice, the ice start melting out. Therefore, because of accumulation of snow, layers over layers, the lower layer start melting out. And this way, in winter season also, these rivers are having water supply. Then, in summer season, these lower parts of Himalaya, they are losing out their ice because of temperature increases than zero, and therefore water supply is there. And in rainy season, obviously heavy rainfall is there, because this Himalaya region from this to this is having length, means actually breadth, but from here to here, suppose I have to travel, the distance is around 400 to 450 kilometers. This is very, very, very massive, great area of rainfall, and therefore tremendous drainage of water as well as silt is there. Except Greater Himalaya, the lower parts of Greater Himalaya, then Core Himalaya and Shivalik, they are having dense forest, and so tremendous organic material is also carried out by these rivers. These rivers are flowing with very high velocity when they are in Himalayan region, and suddenly they are arriving on North Indian plain, which is having very, very, very less gradient. What I want to tell, it's simple, we can check out. So somewhere here, I am saying this is New Delhi or Delhi. Now, river Yamuna is flowing here, that is coming like that. Then river Ganga is coming like that, and in Prayag there is confluence. Then river will flow here with distributaries and ultimately reach to Bay of Bengal. Altitude of Delhi is around 200 to 250 meter. But this distance is greater than 2000 kilometers. That means the gradient, I want to tell this thing. This is the place of Delhi, and this is 250 meter, then this is 2000 meter plus distance, 2000 kilometer plus distance. So gradient here is very less. Whereas in mountain range, you will get tremendous slopes. Because of snowfall, these slopes are there, and so the velocity of river is much more in mountain region, and suddenly when that river arrives in that plain part, you will get the slow motion of that water, and so these rivers are flowing very calmly over this region. What is the problem? The kinetic energy of water decreases because velocity. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So velocity decreases, means square of that kinetic energy decreases. As a result, whatever material that rivers are carrying out from these mountain ranges, that material they are not able to carry forward. Whereas if you are going in this Bengal territory, that is earlier Bengal province, where slope is much more less, it is almost horizontal, and therefore the river is expanding its bed. River bed is comparatively broad as earlier, and the material that is carried out, that is not able to carry out any way further, and therefore the distributaries are formed. And ultimately we are getting nice delta land. That delta land is carrying out a good material, that is organic material present over there, and that's why very high fertile regions are formed over there. We are calling that as Sundarban, because the plants observed here, they are of Sundri. The name of that plant is Sundri. So we are calling that territory as Sundarban territory, which is very, very highly fertile region in the world. Now, we are checking out Himalayan system. We are dividing into three parts. Obviously, first part, river Indus. Second, river Ganga. And third, river Brahmaputra. Now, first thing, I am focusing on river Indus. River Indus, or that is called as Sindhu river. That is very important river in Himalayan system, as it is supported by various other other tributaries. This is having origin in Tibetan plateau. So we are calling this is having origin beyond Himalaya. So beyond Himalaya, but here somewhere two lakes, important lakes are there. They are called as Manas Sarovar. Now some pronunciations, or I got different spelling. I don't know which one is the correct, because in some books it is given as Man Sarovar. Sarovar is a lake. Man Sarovar. And in some book it is given as Manas Sarovar. So whatever that they are saying, one is Manas Sarovar, other one is Rakshas Sarovar. Rakshas means giant or evil. So I don't know exactly, but in some book it is given as Rakas Sarovar, and some book it is given as Rakshas Sarovar. So one is Manas Sarovar and one is Rakas Sarovar. And here there is Mount Kailas, what we are calling as Kailas pilgrimage, that is carried out now. It is everything is there in China. And then this river Indus, having origin in region of Rakas Sarovar, it flows, it enters in Jammu Kashmir and then turns, and it reaches to cross out in, then it is entering in Pakistan. It flows, it is having distributary, and nice delta land is produced around it. Run of Kutch is very close to delta land produced by river Indus. Now river Indus is having important system. River Indus is very, very important in the sense that whatever India name that is given on the basis of river Indus, try to recollect our history part, that we discussed the origin of word Hindu. Say in the Sanskrit, the name of this river is given as Sindhu river, whereas from Persian side, if you observe here, here is the Persia. So from just observe, from Persia, suppose somebody is entering in India, either via Khyber Pass or via Bolan Pass, then the biggest river here, that is river Indus, so Sindhu. So they are calling Hindu because they are in language Sa. They are not pronouncing Sa. They are pronouncing Sa as H. And so the name Hindu is given over here. That is corrupted as Indus in Greek language, and where river Indus is flowing, that is India. But the thing is that now we don't have that river. Say I am showing here this part, no doubt this is part of Himalaya or Kailas range, but this is now practically under control of China. So this portion of river Indus is there in control of China. Now on map I am showing that this part of river Indus is there in India. That is 700 kilometers. So river Indus flows through India of around 700 kilometer length on paper, or we are saying that is according to Indian map. Whatever we are saying that entire Kashmir belong to India, accordingly we have river Indus around 700 kilometers. But the parts through which river Indus is flowing, they are not actually under control of India. Somewhat, I have to show here in different color. Somewhat this territory is not directly under control of India. This is COK, or China occupied part of Kashmir. We are calling that territory as Aksai Chin, part of Ladakh, Aksai Chin, that is under control of China. And this territory, somewhat, say here overlap is there because this whatever I am marking in green color, that territory was initially occupied by Pakistan and then that is donated to China or given to China. So this territory is under control of Pakistan, so we are calling this as POK, this as COK. And whatever the remaining that we have, somewhere around less than 70 kilometer river Indus is practically under control of India. Whereas on paper we have 700 kilometer part, and then river Indus enters in Pakistan, where actually supposed to be